Here's the story about the celebrity who says she has sold her house in Los Angeles. This happened a couple of years ago when she sold the house because it was haunted. It was Courtney Cox of Friends and Scream, and she told the story on television yesterday or a couple of days ago. And she said the home used to be owned by Carole King. And when she moved into it, Carole King said, look, this house is, there's ghosts in this house. You will see a ghost. And Courtney Cox said, I didn't believe in any of that. I had no expectation of that.
Sure, Carol.
Right, Carol.
Okay.
Bye, Carol. See ya.
Is this the only key? Is there one under the mat or anything? Is it like a fake rock in the yard I need to know about?
Sure, Carol. Okay.
Okay, haunted.
Right. So haunted.
Door shut.
Door shut. And then she said, well, why did you come around and sell the house?
I was at the house one day, not being a believer, and the doorbell rang. It was a UPS guy or something, and I opened the door, and he said, do you know this house is haunted? And I go, yeah, why? Why do you think that? He goes, because there's someone standing behind you. And I was like, let's sell. I couldn't sleep there alone ever again.
That gave me a chill.
Pish posh.
No, that gave, oh, don't you dare.
Nonsense.
Oh, that gave, oh, did you hear the audience?
Stop
You
it.
heard the audience.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I would have done.
I like so calm about it, though. You get a package? Yeah, here you go. Oh, by the way, this place is on it.
You know this house is haunted?
There's a guy behind you.
So I've heard.
Yeah. There's a ghost behind you.
The UPS man.
Oh, that would scare me senseless. That would have, I can't say I would have sold the house, but that would have scared me to death. If he
No, you would never sell the house, though.
No,
Especially if you just moved.
it would have to be. You'd have to have a good equity.
Yeah, you'd hide it from your family.
I would. It's all about
Hide the
equity.
ghost?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would.
Hey, did you put all the dining room chairs up on the table last night? I did. Why? I was vacuuming under it in the middle of the night. Yep.
Was someone rattling chains in the attic? Oh, yeah. Yep.
That was me. I did that. I know. So, but I would definitely hide it. But that right there, when he said, because there's someone behind you, you don't tell, the hairs on the back of my neck stood up.
She has children, right? Wasn't she married for a time?
She was.
Oh, yes, my kid.
No, it wasn't her kid. It was an obvious. She said,
Yeah, the UPS man sees ghosts.
This is an apparition. She said the UPS man said there's somebody standing right there, and it is clearly a ghost.
Somebody's been eating the edibles.
So I thought. I thought you were talking about me. I don't do edibles unless I'm on vacation. And so right now, but that right there made the hair on the back of my neck stand up. There's another, I'll tell you something else that got to me today. Jamie Lee Curtis says, I never ever look in the mirror because I want acceptance of my body. And I said, preach on,
Because
girl.
what?
She wants acceptance. She wants to be able to accept her body.
So she never looks at it?
That's right. And I said, girl, I hear you. I'm the exact same way. She
Preach,
says,
girl.
I thought
said-
you woke up every morning and flexed nude.
I used to, but then after a while, I thought, I'm not even going to. I just look at my body, well, my face when I brush my teeth. And that's the same as Jamie Lee. We just look at she said, I never even look. From neck down, I don't even see myself.
When do you, aren't you shaving front and back?
Yes,
top,
I am.
Down to the waist?
Yes, I am. But I don't.
Daily?
Not daily. Once every.
Is it sliding?
Yeah, I've got to get back on that because lately I have not kept up.
No one's clamoring for it.
I've not kept up with it, unfortunately. It's been a couple of weeks. I'm starting to get into that area now where it's like an in-between, and that's awful. Chad, you're talking about ghost. Courtney Cox sold her house because of a ghost in it. Go ahead.
Yeah, my grandfather built and lived in a house in Randleman and died in that house. Well, when my dad and his brother sold the house, the lady that moved in lived there for about 2 weeks. And I asked her, what happened? And she kept saying that she kept seeing my grandfather in the house. So when my grandmother had moved to Hickory, and I called her, and I told her what had happened. And she said, Chad, your grandpa's been in that house since the day he died.
That's right. That's right.
Looking at all those new naked women running around.
That's right. That's what.
That some bitch is still cheating on me in the afterlife.
I'm telling you. Thank you very much, Chad. I don't know about ghosts.
Country
Yeah, you don't believe in
I
ghosts,
don't
though.
know that I do believe in ghosts, but I'll tell you this. Every time we tell little ghost stories, immediately people say, yes,
You're right.
I've seen it. I saw this. My grandmother died. All of that. You do. You do.
Yeah.
I'll tell you the one that got me. Now, this is an older call. Well, this is a call from October. And we were talking, Biggie was doing his ghost stories.
His movies.
His movie reviews.
Special movies series.
Did you do 1408 last year?
No, that did not go.
I think you should do that one this year.
Yeah.
I told you I just saw that, and now I've watched it twice. I bought it, and I watched it with my son, and that's a great ghost story.
It is.
It's really stronger than I remember. That's a John Cusack picture from about 15 years ago, but it's really good. And this guy called when we were talking about this in October, and this was one of the most harrowing ghost stories you'll hear.
I lived in a house in Southern California with my parents. It was a 5-bedroom ranch. It was really long, and we had a pool in the backyard. And there was this little old lady that I guess that lived there 2 or 3 times before we did that died. She can't remember whether she committed suicide because she was sick or whether she was just sick. But my dad always kept his dirty magazines in the master bathroom. And when nobody was home, 13, so I'd be going after my dad's magazines, and that little old lady just loved to just pop out right there around the dresser, stop me in my tracks, and then how do you go forward? Nobody's home. You're 13. The mood it's killed. It's over.
You're telling me you were ready to get down to business, look at the magazine, and a little old lady popped out and slapped you on the hand.
They weren't. Yeah. I mean, she just would be smiling. Real creepy little smile, long hair. She also used to love to pop out, like, when you were in the pool, you could see all the back windows of the house. And she loved to pop out there when you were under the water. Like, you'd be under the water, and you'd look back up at the house, and there she'd be in my parents' bathroom.
Man, and did their parents saw her too?
I don't know about my mom or dad. My sister, who she reads palms and stuff, so she brought it up years later. She goes, "You mean the haunted house?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "What haunted house?" So she told me, I said, so it all clicked, and I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
That's the one that stopped you from your bathroom activity.
The Gilf ghost.
Brutal. Absolutely brutal. You heard what happened to him. Anytime he would be looking at dirty magazines in his teen years, she'd pop out and smile at him. I mean, what do you say to something like that?
I think that's Catholic guilt.
A naysayer. And someone, you're like Courtney Cox. She never believed until, and then she started.
That day the UPS man dropped by.
And she started to believe. Exactly. Sydney is on the line talking about ghosts.
Sydney.
Ghosts.
Good morning.
Morning.
My aunt and uncle claimed to have a house that was haunted. They said cupboards would be open, dishes would be out. My uncle was never a believer. But he was watching television one night, and the cat and the dog were staring at the door. And he jokingly said, "Okay, ghost, come on out here if you're here." And in tandem, the cat and the dog followed something across the room. Their eyes and heads moved right in front of him.
That gave me such a chill that I just had to shake.
You did the full body shiver.
That kind of thing. When you say something like that, it was like when Courtney Cox told that story about the UPS driver. I just did an absolute physical shimmer. Yeah. So you believe then. You believe in that, Sydney.
Well, I never did, but that story, we never went in the basement again.
That's right. That's exactly right. I feel that same way. I don't really believe in it, but when people start to tell them, it gets to me. Thank you, Sydney. Appreciate it.
Well, you've always been a rapt audience for storytellers of any kind.
Well, that's right. That's right. And I certainly believe the previous caller who said that his teen years were tormented by a ghost.
The anti-masturbating granny ghost.
Right. That one stuck with me. Now, that call came from October. That's been with me ever since.
Yeah.
I have thought about that call a lot. We don't know where he went. We don't know who
I said no.
I don't know. It's awful.
Hands in pockets.
It's all. Put that magazine down, she was saying.